Now, headlines. Accra High Court grants 12 sub-Galamsey protesters bail, but convener of the protest, Oliver Bakavomawo, will continue to be in detention after court refused to grant his bail application. Also, division deepens in Labour front as some members of organised Labour reject calls for nationwide strike against illegal mining. We have details as the concerned members of organised Labour in the Ashanti region give leadership 48 hours to engage members before they comply with the directive. Also, National Identification Authority offices closed as workers strike. You want to stay with us for updates on this as well. There is business news, sports news, showbiz and world news in this 1-hour package for Joy News today. Please stay for details. We are your election headquarters, so let's start from there. And running mate to the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, has urged voters to disregard claims by the opposition that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia cannot be president because of his religious background. Speaking during the NPP's Bantama Big Walk in Kumasi, Napo emphasized the NPP's commitments to unity and inclusivity, saying the party's leadership reflects the diversity of the country. Dr. Prempeh has reassured supporters of securing victory in the December 7 election, despite attempts to undermine the credibility of the NPP's presidential candidate. Nana Bwachi Adom reports. And we'll bring you that report in a subsequent bulletin or later on in this one. But away from that, presidential candidate of the opposition National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, says the governing New Patriotic Party only paid 15% of the equipment cost for the district road improvement program. He says this leaves the next administration with no choice but to fund the remaining 85%. During his tour of the Savannah region, he urged the NPP to stop politicizing every issue and promised to upgrade the Tamale-Salaga Road if elected.
It is such a shame that 8 years since we left office, this Tamale-Salaga Road is still in the condition in which it was. And I've been going with the media all over, all the regions that we've gone to. They've seen the nature of the roads. And anytime I say this, until you travel on those roads, you won't know what I'm talking about. I've been to 7 regions now. The 12,000 kilometers of roads they say they've done, they should come and show us where those roads are, because we can't find those roads. We just came from Abromasi. The road is in such a poor shape. Tamale-Salaga Makango was given on contract, and work was ongoing until we left office. And after we left office, to come back 8 years later and see the road still in this condition, then you wonder where those 12,000 kilometers of roads are. Binjai to Kendege Road needs to be done. There are many... There are many communities that were electrifying before we left office. We did a 10-key project to electrify some communities along this stretch. Our brothers came and left it. When it's getting to election, they behave as if they are going to do it. As soon as they lose, then they abandon it. And so elections are coming. They're going to come with their sweet promises again. They're going to come. Suddenly they bought road equipment with common fund money. They've mortgaged the common fund and paid only 15% down payment. The NDC is going to win this election. It means that 85% of the payment for the drip equipment is going to be done by an NDC government. And yet, they are putting their posters on the equipment as if they have fully paid for it. They paid only 15% deposit. And the next government has to come and take the debt and pay for it. And that's why I said nobody has a right to paste his posters on those equipment, because the equipment belong to the people of Ghana. So we're going to come with a 24-hour economy policy, which is going to allow businesses to run more than 8 hours a day. And as my brother told you, we'll have to amend some legislation. We'll have to amend the labor laws in order that it can allow people to work, for businesses to run longer hours and people to work additional shifts. We also have to amend some of the customs and tax laws so that we can give incentives to the businesses that would run the 24-hour economy. So there's a lot that we're going to do. If people are walking, we must be jogging. If people are jogging, we must be running. If people are running, we must be flying, because Ghana is a nation in a hurry. So we're going to set up farmers service centers in all the districts. We created this district. This is an NDC district. There's no reason why this district is in the hands of the NPP. We're going to chase the elephant out of this constituency and chase it back into the bush. And so we're going to bring farmer service centers here. Each farmer service center is going to have 15 tractors, harrows, plows, planters, fertilizer, condem, everything that you need for agriculture. And so all our farmers
Up north next, away from election headquarters, socio-economic activities in Chirpone have halted following torrential rains on Sunday. Now, the downpour destroyed homes, roads, bridges, and utility poles across the district. Let's speak to Ilyasu Tanku for the latest on this. Ilyasu, what's the current state of affairs in Chirpone?
Well, it's been a very peculiar task, or very difficult day for the people of Chirpone. As you see in the video, overnight, people have been trying to salvage their belongings. People are also trying to fix, small roads that leads to their communities and farmlands. And so there's a beehive of activities currently ongoing in Chirpone due to the torrential rains, like you said, which have devastated a lot of properties and even utility poles. So as we speak, the people are there trying to salvage what they could.
But has life returned to normal? A bit of normalcy returned yet?
Yes, except that people are still trapped, unable to move to places that they want to do, that is unable to do their day-to-day activities. The road to Yendi, which is one of the major roads, is currently nearly unmotorable. And the one that is heading towards Mongo, which is in the Republic of Togo, was also flooded by the torrential rains yesterday. So even though people are calm, still trying to salvage their properties, it's still a very difficult situation. They don't know when they send the district chief executive and the member of parliament. They are all present in the district. My understanding is that there's currently some kind of intervention from the district chief executive and the member of parliament. And so they are helping the communities to reorganize themselves. But largely the community members are calling for the construction of the roads across the district. It is one of the districts with the poorest roads in Ghana. There have not been any single road constructed since this government came to power for about 8 years now. And the community members believe that as a result of the deplorable state of the road, that has led to this particular disaster. So they are calling on authorities to help fix their roads.
Thank you so much, Elias. And we'll revert for more updates on the torrential rains in Tripoli. But away from that, the Agbogbo Mafia of Adom State, Togbiapede, has entreated the country's leadership to take the bull by the horns and halt illegal mining. Togbiapede is worried about the devastation caused by the miners to the country's forest reserves, leading to pollution of water bodies and the accompanying health implications. Speaking at the Grand Durbar of the 2024 Asogli Teza, which is the Yam Festival, Togbiapede asserted that Ghana would need $5 billion to reclaim the devastated land areas. There's more in this report filed by Fred Kwame-Asari.
The annual Asogli Teza serves as a platform to celebrate farmers for providing food for the traditional area. It has become one of Ghana's well-celebrated festivals, which attracts people from across the globe as it delivers a unique cultural and traditional diversity. The 2024 Asogli Teza Grand Durbar was graced by various political figures.
His Excellency John Mahama, Municipal Assembly, Wazuho Metropolitan Assembly. Mi dom kuto misioni wanani lejuko yame. Mi dom kuto siomo wanani lejuko yame. Ne mi dom ne se otakpepe me. Mi adakona Dr. Mahamudu Baumia. Mi adakona Divine Bossi. Afevia.
The PNC and my person are being disqualified from participating in the 2024 elections. Togbu, I want to assure you that we will do everything legitimately to ensure that we are back on the ballot so that the people of Ghana will get the president and the leader they want.
The Agbogbo Mafia of the Asogli State, Togbiapede the 14th, lamented the indiscriminate illegal mining activities in the country.
The destruction of our lands by the destruction of our rivers. I've read that more than 100,000 acres of whole farmland have been destroyed, which means that for 100,000 acres of farmland alone, whole farmland alone, the state will be requiring in excess of $5 billion for reclamation. After a few have done regularly, our land is just a tool and I repeat themselves at the expense of the state. Sometimes I wonder whether there are no leaders or evidence in our country. How can we allow this to continue? As the German will say, Sayo, Sayo, Olumabajero. If there are evidence, we shouldn't take down and watch the declaration of our land.
Fred Kwame-Asari, Joy News.
Moving on, offices of the Bono East National Identification Authority remain closed as staff begin nationwide strike today. They are protesting government's failure to implement a newly approved scheme of service. Anas Sabit joins us with updates. Anas, what's the latest on this industrial action by this group? We lost Anas. He was bringing us details on the offices of Bono East National Identification Authority. But let's go to Kumasi and find out what the situation is there as well. Nana Boachi Dankwayadom joins us. Nana Boachi Dankwayadom, thank you for joining us. Are the offices of NIA opened in Kumasi?
Authority office here in the Ashanti region. We came here a very long time ago. We've been interacting with some people who came to seek the services of the National Identification Authority here in the Ashanti region. The office located at the Kumasi Central business district. Well, those who were coming to seek the services of the NIA have been asked to return home because they say that they are on strike. You can see that the various doors of the NIA in the Ashanti region are closed, they are locked, and there's nobody here except the officers of the Ghana Publishing Company who are doing their own job. But if you come here to the NIA office, nothing is actually happening. The people who came in to seek the services of the Identification Authority have been asked to go home until further notice. The NIA staff are on strike for government's failure to comply or to operationalize their new scheme of services. And as you can see, due to government's failure to operationalize these scheme of services, the staff have decided to boycott work this very morning. And so any other person who is coming in, or those who have been here already, have been directed to go home. If you're coming, they stop you from coming. If you're coming to get your Ghana card, or if you're coming to apply for a Ghana card, they would not be able to attend to you because they have boycotted their work today. And we all know it's because of the government's failure to operationalize their conditions of service. But then even away from that, this morning too, some members of the organized labor here in the Ashanti region also declared their stance on the union's intended strike, which is scheduled for October 10th, just this coming Thursday. Well, these concerned members of the organized labor have also declared their intention to boycott the strike, which is scheduled to take place on the 10th of October, citing that there's political interference and then also there's government failure as well to comply in any way with the demands of the organized labor. And so they find it not right for the union to continue with their intended strike. They want to remain independent and propose ways by which government can use in making sure that this Galamsey crisis is being resolved. And we heard them also saying that there's a little bit of tension, lack of communication, proper communication from leadership of the organized labor and also to its members. They are giving the leadership 48 hours ultimatum, or 48-hour ultimatum, to descend or decentralize the channel of communication so as to enable them participate in any strike whatsoever. And so these are the two major stories from the Ashanti region. We're live from the NIA office, and this is what they are telling us, and also from the organized labor front.
Thank you so much, Nana Washi. And still on the matter, let's go to the Bunu region, Bunu East region, where Sabit is. And is the situation different there? Are the staff of NIA open this afternoon?
The situation is same here in the Bunu East region. I have been to the Tichiman Municipal NIA office. I've been to the regional NIA office as well, and both offices remain under lock with none of the officers in sight to speak with us. We've been speaking with some of the few persons we've met. Some of them are still trooping in to either obtain a new NIA card or get their lost NIA cards replaced. This is the office which is currently under lock, and unfortunately, none of the officers is available to get to speak to us to tell us more about the current situation. These people we've been speaking with, most of them are not residents of Tichima. They've been coming from the adjoining communities, some from even other districts, because this is the regional capital. Some have traveled all the way from the Far East to this end to get their Ghana cards, and unfortunately, the situation means they will have to go home without the Ghana cards. And they are telling us, a couple of them I've spoken with lost their phones and they are going to replace their SIM, but the requirement is that they have to bring their Ghana cards. Until they do so, they have to remain without their SIM cards, and that is the worrying situation most of them have been telling us.
Sabit. Now, moving on, there are deepening divisions within the labor front as some concerned members of organized labor have rejected calls for an industrial action against illegal mining. The call for industrial action was made by the leadership of the labor union, who argue that government's failure to declare a state of emergency on Galamsey is a threat to the livelihoods of Ghanaians. Despite its engagement with government, organized labor is set to embark on a nationwide strike on October 10th. However, some members have rejected the call, saying that it was not the right approach to addressing the issue of Galamsey. Let's go live to the Ashanti region, where some members addressed the press this morning. Nana, we have MFA Adeti standing by with updates on this. MFA, what's the situation where you are?
Hi, sweetie. And so it's quite a charged atmosphere here at the TUC head office. And we have Enzo Kabono himself leading the charged atmosphere. I've also seen Kenneth Thompson as well, also leading a very charged atmosphere. Earlier, I spoke with Professor Gampo, who said that he is not in the position to relent, and he expects that by the end of this engagement or deliberation, they should be still marching on to the strike on the 10th of October. And he's also been debunking that alleged amount of money that has been purported to have been paid to some leadership of organized labor. And it was quite clear in his mind that they are not quite forced to be settling for such amounts of 400,000 Ghana cedis. And so the meeting is just about starting. It hasn't started now, but it's just nearly starting, and then we'll be bringing you updates.
MFA, just for clarity, did you say that you can confirm that that 400,000 was actually given to some members of organized labor?
He seems to want to debunk that it is possible, but he's not sure that that amount of money is enough to convince them, and that he thinks it's a bogus allegation.
All right, we're standing by for that meeting, and MFA, we're sure you bring us details on the fallout from that meeting. Thank you for joining us. Now, the Ghana Federation of Forest and Farm Producers is asking government to tailor climate change information to resonate with ordinary farmers. Executive Director of GAFAP, Hajia Alima Sagito Said, says the country's current climate change framework has an information gap that hinders farmers' ability to adapt to climate change and undermines the nation's agricultural sector. She was speaking at the 4th edition of the GAFAP National Dialogue held in Bolgatanga in the Upper East region. Our correspondent, Albert Sori, has more.
The Ghana Federation of Forest and Farm Producers, GAFAP, is a national body of forest and farm producer organizations with over 1 million members drawn from 3 ecological zones of Ghana, the Savannah, Transition, and Forest ecological zones. The organization was launched in March 2020 to contribute to the sustainable livelihoods of forest and farm producers through advocacy, capacity building, environmental management, business development, and partnership building. The National Dialogue Series forms part of the GAFAP Agenda 2030 strategy, a 10-year roadmap that aims to support smallholder forest and farm producers to become key agents of change for climate-resilient landscapes and improved livelihoods. This year's dialogue, the 4th in the series, was held at Bolgatanga in the Upper East region. Executive Director of GAFAP, Hajia Alima Sagito Said, said Ghana's current climate change framework falls short of reaching the grassroots farmers who need it most. She called on the government to tailor climate change information to resonate with ordinary farmers.
We know that there are a lot of policies on climate that government has put in place. We have the climate change framework. And if you look at a lot of the agricultural policy, there are intentionality attached to climate issues. But sometimes the information does not really come down to the actual farmer. So what we want to do is to continue to encourage the departments that are really having direct relationship with the farmer to really be very intentional about getting the knowledge to the people. Some people will definitely apply it and will be more resilient than we are now. So that's a demand we want to put across.
The GAFAP National Dialogue also provided a platform for stakeholders to converge and address pressing issues affecting forest and farm producers in Ghana. A key highlight of the event was an exhibition showcasing an array of innovative products from various forest and farm producer organizations.
We are also trying to project our indigenous seeds. We are also trying to build seed banks. So we are using the indigenous seeds. That's why we have our Dawadawa seed, we have the Nidi, we have the Dawadawa itself. We're also trying to tell people that we have some seeds in the Upper East region, or some fruits.
We are into tree planting, we are into Village Service and Loans Association, where we gather the women every week and we do a lot of savings. The produce we are here, we we brought them here. They are all organic ones. The women are all involved and they get a lot from it.
This program is a very important program, and we love it because so many organizations have come together. We come together to learn a lot from one another, and as we are displaying our various products from the various organizations, which will blend what we are doing and what others are not doing, we'll learn and also incorporate it into your activities going forward. And
for Joy News, Albert Sori, Bolgatanga.
In other stories, President of the Upper West Regional House of Chiefs, Napawele Kabo III, says his outfit won't countenance any absenteeism at council meetings. Napawele Kabo III, who doubles as the Vice President of the National House of Chiefs, says the act impedes the council's effective discharge of its statutory functions under the Chieftaincy Act. There's more in this report by Rafiq Salam.
Following the death of Na Dipalo Nebere II in 2003, Tanchara, located in the Lora municipality of the Upper West region, has been without a chief. There were 2 decades absence of a chief for the area, according to residents, has stalled the development of the area. I am so excited. If I joke, I will turn into a mad person. We have been without a chief for God knows when. But today, we are thanking him for giving us one. She said, amid relation from her colleagues. When the kingmakers of the area settled on 72-year-old businessman Na Nalunkunyi Wale II, known in private life as Robert Bakuru, to be the divisional chief of the Tanchara area. He is married with a wife and 5 children. Sea of people from the community and beyond, including paramount, divisional and sub-chiefs, Muslim clerics, friends, and persons they share blood ties with, were present to grace the occasion. Notable among them were the people of Watagariri, who they share ancestral ties with. Mwazo Muhammad Akram hails from Wazongo, but has his maternal roots from Tanchara, and you two fell light on the relationship between the Tanchara people and that of Watagariri and Limayiri.
Well, the first Tagaroho that came from Mali, migrated from Mali, came down here and settled. Before he moved to Jirapa, before he then moved to Naha and to Dinonso, to Kadoli, and finally settled at Watagariri. That is how it is. It has a lot of history. So when you say Tagarehe, this is their ancestral home, that where they come from. So if they are from this place, automatically it has a historical impact on all Tagarehe and Limahe as a whole.
President of the Upper West Regional House of Chiefs, Napawele Kabo III, who also doubles as the Vice President of the National House of Chiefs, led him to perform the rituals before he installed him as the chief of the area. Napawele Kabo III then turned his attention to absentee chiefs, which he said makes the Lora Traditional Council ineffective in discharging its statutory functions under the Chieftaincy Act.
These are chiefs who are usually outdoors with the usual pomp and pageantry as we are having today, and at great expense to the community, but who thereafter return to their workplaces and neither attend council meetings nor the affairs of their communities that elected them to lead them. In this way, the administration of the area is still left in the hands of the same regions who previously handled it, making the council ineffective in discharging its statutory functions under the Chieftaincy Act. I want to remind you that absenteeism from council meetings and other activities of traditional area without reasonable cause, especially by division and subdivisional chiefs, will no longer be tolerated, and representatives of such chiefs will be debarred from participating in our meetings and other activities.
Moving on, residents of Wusuta in the North Dai district are excited about the opening of a standard laboratory to enhance healthcare in the area. This is after traveling long distances for basic medical tests. The gesture by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints includes state-of-the-art microscopes and testing kits, providing much-needed diagnostic capabilities to the Wusuta Health Center. There's more in this report, filed by Ivy Setoji.
Wusuta Health Center, which serves as a critical healthcare facility for the people of Wusuta and its neighboring communities in the North Dai district, has long been in need of upgrading its diagnostic capabilities. With the help of some community members living in North America and the chiefs, a laboratory facility has been constructed for the health center. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has supported this effort by donating laboratory equipment to equip the facility. The donated equipment includes state-of-the-art laboratory instruments such as microscopes, testing kits, among others. These tools will enable the health center to conduct a wider range of medical tests, from basic blood work to more advanced pathological analysis. The president of the Ghana Accra North Whole Ghana district of the church, Benjamin Ofori, emphasized the importance of the donation.
We don't deal with the spiritual aspect only, just as the retired colonel said, because the spirit needs the body to dwell in, to operate. So we believe that when the members, when the families of Wusuta are in good health, it is then that they can worship and serve the Lord well. And serving God is serving humanity, one another. For if I say I love God and I don't love my neighbor, it is in vain. And we also believe that faith without work is also not faith. This is for which we are doing this.
The district health director, David Tekbo Obusu, said the facility will go a long way in helping the health center conduct a wider range of diagnosis and also help community members save costs.
First and foremost, we'd like to thank the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints for this gesture. In terms of its importance, it's so crucial to healthcare delivery. It is widely believed that diagnostic services are the fulcrum of every healthcare delivery. Once you know about what is wrong with your system, it becomes easy for prescriptions to be done. So for some time now, we've not had the services of laboratory in this particular part of the district. We have about 17 health facilities in the district, and out of that, only 4 of them have laboratories. So the addition of this one is really going to help the people of this place. Wusuta community especially holds a chunk of the population of the North Dai district, and so the availability of this particular edifice and then the equipment that we donated to give is going to go a very long way to at least bridge the gap, in the sense that for some time now also we noticed that because of the absence of the diagnostic services that are here, people from Pepe and then the Wusuta enclave itself would have to travel very long distances to be able to access laboratory services in the district. And so you would realize that by the time they go and they come back, if you calculate the cost of the travel alone, it also adds up to the cost of healthcare in the district. So the presence of a laboratory here in the Wusuta community is really going to go a long way to at least look at the financial security that people would have, put money also in their pocket, because at least it will help them to save funds as well.
Paramount Chief of the Wusuta traditional area, Tobi Osietutu Bempo III, expressed his gratitude and joy at the church's generosity.
Now let's take a break and we will return with business news.
Hi, good afternoon and welcome to the business segment on Joy News today with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Long queues continue to form at various gas stations in Kumasi as LPG consumers rush to access the commodity which has been in short supply for days. My colleague Emmanuel Boyd-Kweku reports.
On any ordinary day, this gas station serving the Kasi enclave in Kumasi bustles with many LPG consumers trooping to the facility to refill their cylinders. But today, it remains quiet with only a queue of empty cylinders thirsting for their usual gulp of gas. LPG consumers who visited the station had to return and continue their desperate search after several hours of roaming the city. However, at pump stations which just received consignments of gas, long winding queues consumed their premises. Many of the consumers were frustrated after waiting for hours to have their turns to be served.
This week,
I have been to 3 places but didn't get any. It is only this place that I have had some, but the queue here is discouraging. I came around 7 a.m. but it still hasn't reached my turn. The queue is really long here. I came around 10:30 a.m. I still haven't been served. I use the gas for business. Not only is the fuel essential for domestic and commercial cooking activities, the gas is an auxiliary petroleum product for some vehicles. Frank, a commercial driver, has for some days now sought after the fuel. It's like the petrol. If you don't get some, then it means you wouldn't be working. Again, the prices keep increasing regularly. They should do something about it. The intermittent gas shortage is prompting the adoption of the cylinder recirculation module introduced by the National Petroleum Authority. Obed Crane Boache is the head for gas in charge of commercial regulation at the NPA.
Under the cylinder recirculation model, we are going to have bottling plants. The bottling plants are big automated centers that will fill these cylinders in bulk. The bottling plants will buy the cylinders themselves, they will fill it in bulk at these locations, and then they will bring it to the cylinder distribution outlets. You see the current refilling stations, we are going to transition them to cylinder distribution outlets. And so they are not going to run out of business. We are not going to push them out of business. The only thing that is changing is, instead of them to receive one big bulk tank and then now sell in small quantities as they do now, they will receive cylinders, filled cylinders at these locations. And then from there, they can go further down into the communities and put cages. And so in the supermarket close to your house, you can put a cage by there and then put some 10 cylinders in there. And so when you want LPG, it is just at your doorstep.
For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Boyd-Kweku.
High inflation and unfavorable macroeconomic conditions are some of the issues affecting businesses in the country. There is more in this report.
Insurance penetration, measured by gross premium as a share of GDP, has seen minimal growth since 2016, hovering around just 1%. To put this figure into regional context, South Africa boasts of the continent's highest penetration rate at 17%, followed by Namibia with 6.3%. Ghana continues to struggle with increasing the proportion of its population covered by insurance, which currently is around 40%. At the launch of Priority Insurance's innovative home and office insurance product, Mr. Matthew Edu, Managing Director of Priority Insurance, emphasized that favorable macroeconomic conditions are essential for improving coverage and penetration.
Inflation is very high, so when people don't have the money to buy insurance, at the end of the day, they have to depend on their meager salaries and also buy other essential items. So their disposable income is not enough to buy insurance. So that is our problem. And also the literacy rate in Ghana is very, very low. So people don't even understand insurance. So there is a need for us as insurers to educate them more.
Sheila Ritzberg, CEO of iRisk Management Limited, stressed on the need for affordability of premiums to increase inclusivity.
Insurance is actually supposed to be for the most vulnerable people, not the rich people who can afford to replace items, but it's supposed to be for the people who actually don't have a lifeline. Then insurance becomes a lifeline for them. For us, we started this with priority, and then we know that we are hoping that other insurers will also come on board, because when it comes to affordability, it's all about the insurers and the underwriters making it affordable, and it becomes affordable when we have information to underwrite the policy, because it's all about valuations.
And that's it for business for now. I am Pius Kojo Bakadra will be at 1 p.m. with the marketplace. Sports is next.
Time now to bring you sports here on Joy News today with me, Muftar Nabila Abdullah. Kwesi Appiah has stepped down as Executive Council member of the Ghana Football Association, temporary. This is according to Joy Sports sources. Kwesi Appiah, who was voted onto the Executive Council of the Ghana Football Association in October 2023 and accepted a role as head coach of the Sudanese national team, has been asked by the Confederation of African Football to step down from either of the roles temporarily in order to preserve the integrity of the AFCON qualifiers. Ghana comes up against Sudan on Thursday, October 10, on March Day 3 of the ongoing 2025 African Cup of Nations. And by virtue of the fact that Kwesi Appiah serves as Executive Council member and head coach of Sudan national team, CAF says he's in a conflict of interest. And the letter, portion of it says that for the reason and to preserve the integrity of the AFCON qualifiers, I urge you to take immediate action to resolve this conflict of interest, including at a minimum temporary stepping down from one of the two roles until the conclusion of the competition. And the conclusion is in November. And sources close to Kwesi Appiah has confirmed to Joy Sports that he's not going to step down permanently. He's only going to step down based on the directive of CAF. I kindly request you to provide CAF with a written confirmation and prove that you have taken the necessary steps to remedy the situation on or before Tuesday, October 8, 2024. Failure to do so will result in this matter being referred to CAF Disciplinary Board. I appreciate your prompt action to this important matter. This is a letter that came from the CAF legal head, directing Kwesi Appiah to step down as either an Executive Council member of the Ghana Football Association or Sudan. Kwesi Appiah is currently in Ghana, and his side will play the Black Stars on Thursday at the Accra Sports Stadium. Now, let's move on and hear from Ghana's head coach, Otto Addo, who has been speaking ahead of the game on Thursday. He says that he understands the frustration of Ghanaians because he hates to lose. Ghana lost its opening 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifier against Angola at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium before drawing 1-1 against Niger on March Day 2 in Berkane, Morocco. And for the Black Stars to stand a chance of qualifying to the next edition of the African Cup of Nations, they must win against Sudan to enhance their chances of qualifying. And he says that he understands the frustration of Ghanaians, but has called on them to throw their weight behind the team.
Yeah, I can understand that people are not happy. It's a very, very difficult situation. But like I said before, we were in difficult situations before. To be honest, I faced a lot of negativity before my first appearance here. When I came, we played against Nigeria, we qualified. Then also when I came back, a lot of negativity. Difficult situation. We played against Mali and we won and it was okay. And now again, surely a difficult situation and very, very understandable. To be honest, I hate to lose. I hate to lose, and I was also pissed. I was very disappointed, especially after the Niger game. And the Angola game, I think we have to see it separately. We can't put it, even though we lost, and results is what counts. Sports, I think surely it should be seen a little bit separately, but just because this is football. I played in Germany in the first division. We lost to a fourth division in the cup game. Sometimes this happens. You have chances, you don't score, and they have maybe one or two chances they score. So I want to exclude this match, but Niger was really, really bad. Disappointing, and like I said before, for us, it's about to bring the certain spirit, which he talked about, to this team. This is also part of football, to be honest. You know, sometimes it's like that. You try to score, the goal doesn't go in. It happens to every team. The probability that it will happen again, if you put in such an effort, it's very, very low. But I'm very, very sure that we have a high probability if we bring in these basics, passion, this spirit to defend, especially.
That's your sports for now. We do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com, but the news continues with Sweetie Abochi.
Thank you so much, Mufta. I don't know if our viewers can see, but your suits look spick and span. But let's do some showbiz now. Music lovers in Accra had a swell time over the weekend as they were treated to songs from some music giants from the African continent. Yvonne Chaka Chaka, George Jahra, Ochiame Kwame, Adani Best put up spectacular performances, leaving a lasting impression on the minds of patrons at this year's African Legends Night. Nicholas Ekoyamwa has more in this report.
The Grand Arena in Accra came alive on Saturday when music and arts met Pan-Africanism at the 2024 African Legends Night. This year's edition, headlined by South African music legend Yvonne Chaka Chaka, also featured Ghana's George Jara, Ochiame Kwame and Adani Best. Yvonne Chaka Chaka delivered an awesome performance that got the audience charged up for an encore.
So let's do what we're supposed to do and have fun and make sure that we drink clean water, which is not contaminated, and we become very good people.
I'm glad the people still knew the songs and enjoyed them, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
Adani Best, known for his Ghana-influenced high lifestyle, also captivated the audience with an enthralling set.
I'm very grateful for what, I've been honored, and I'm very grateful for what they have done to me. That is what I would say. God bless them. God bless them.
Ashikele hitmaker George Jara brought his A game with patrons jamming to his hit songs back to back.
Well, I was contracted to perform. I never thought of anything of the sort. So if you can recollect, I was almost in tears when the woman was reading citation. To be honest with you, I'm totally humbled by that. And I thank the whole Ghana and the entire Africa for recognizing George Jara as a legend.
And then the Made in Ghana ambassador, Ochiame Kwame, clad in his traditional wear, mounted the stage, dishing out songs from his repertoire. But wait, the show was not all about performances. Yvonne Chaka Chaka, Ghana's George Jara, Ochiame Kwame and Adani Best were given honorary awards for their contributions to the African music industry. Nicholas Ekoyamwa's report for Joy News.
And that's how we're wrapping up for Joy News today. I wonder though, do you know the lyrics to that song? Is it Mumonko, Yanko Mochi or something? For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com to keep you updated. Over there, you find stories like the latest on the anti-Galamsey protest, where Oliver Bakavomawa has been denied bail again. My name is Sweetie Abochi. Many thanks for your time. Stay for business. Marketplace up next.